Hello to all you beautiful people out there, Regnilla here with another episode of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. For today's video, we are looking at another epic hunting quest with the Cephadrome, the Daimyo Hermitar, and the Diablos, and not in that order. So I believe in this particular quest we are going to be doing the Daimyo first, then the Cephadrome, and then the Diablos. Highly recommend having some flash bombs on you, as well as sonic bombs for not just the Diablos, but also the Cephadrome, and we will get into those in a moment. And as a reminder, this is in the desert zone, so be sure to bring some sort of cool drink because it's going to be hotter than all hell out there, and we do not want to be anally probed with our asses just hanging out like that, just waiting for Diablos to come in and poke us. So the first up is the Daimyo Hermitar, and any electric-based weapon for this, so long as it's high rank equivalent, you should be fine. As a matter of fact, the only monster that will be a threat in this entire quest is, in fact, the Diablos. The first two guys are they're gonna go down. It's almost pitiful. I mean, I feel kind of bad. It's like picking on the crippled kid. You don't want to, but the crippled kid's going around making fun of people, so yeah, you might have to do something as a little bit of payback. But unlike the crippled kids, these guys, well, we're gonna cook them up and eat them. So that's basically all there is to it. With the Daimyo Hermitar here, there's not much more I can really say about this guy. I mean, we've taken on this monster ad nauseum. We've discussed his weaknesses, we've discussed his armor set, so yeah, he is just gonna go down with hardly a fight whatsoever. But he's gonna get some chips in here and there, so we just have to pull through as best we can. But the only thing I'd really worry about with this guy is just whenever he decides he wants to do kind of a jump backwards with that giant shell that he's wearing, because it's one of those things where you're suddenly in that position and you only have a moment to react. Otherwise, things might go wrong. But I think that's gonna be about it for this guy. Wow, he's actually lasting a little bit longer, but you know, there was the purple foam and now he's dead. And so now we could take on the Cephadrome. And this guy's even easier. If you have a sonic bomb on you, then you can take this guy right out of the sand, just like you would do with any Cephalos, and just go to town. Both the Daimyo Hermitar as well as the Cephadrome are weak to thunder-based weapons, so just get one of those and go to town. So with the Cephadrome, I have his armor set up here. Actually, I'm going to go over two armor sets this time around, the S version and the U version. And so with your S version, you're going to have an initial defense of 270, a max defense of 540, with your fire resistance being -15, your water resistance going to be 10, ice resistance is also 10, thunder resistance is -20, and dragon resistance is 0. And for this armor set, you're going to have auto tracker and heat cancel high, with a total of 9 slots to play with. So you might be able to gem in a couple of other skills if you have all the resources. As for the U armor set, the thing I've noticed the difference here is that the max defense is on par with some other later large monsters. So your initial defense is going to be 260 with your max defense at 550. So that's pretty good. Your resistances are the exact same. And for your skill effects, you're going to have Hunger Negated and Heat Cancel Low with 11 slots to play with. So aside from higher defense, I guess with the U armor sets, you also get more slots to just mess around with. So if you play your cards right, you might be able to get 3 additional skills. Just gem those in. But the thing I remember about the U version of the armor sets, I believe the materials are a bit rarer, so you're gonna have to grind a bit harder in order to get all of them. But here is the bad boy for this quest, the Diablos, and oh man, I never like fighting this guy. I did a countdown with a buddy of mine, and it featured the worst monsters in Monster Hunter, with the Diablos being one of them. I just find this guy tedious because he's always mad, and he can just hit like a truck when he feels like it, and he always goes into rage mode at the worst possible time, especially when you're not really having a whole lot of good Sonic Bomb luck, or you just either miss, or he just doesn't want to dig into the ground all that much. So yeah, this guy can be a chore to fight. But here's a couple of tips for you whenever you're fighting actually this can go for any monster that charges directly at you. If you have a trap laid out and you want that monster to charge at you to get into the trap, put a bit of breathing room between you and the trap, because the head of that monster is going to go over the trap first, and if you're too close, you're gonna end up getting hit by the head. So that's just not good. And in a game like Freedom Unite, where the hitboxes are all over the place, that can really screw you over in the long run. Another tip, and perfect timing for this one, you notice that when I threw that flash bomb, I threw it away from the monster in question. Now, I don't think I ever touched base on this, but the reason why you should do that with flash bombs is that you never know when a monster is going to charge directly at you. So if you decide to throw the sonic bomb, or the flash bomb in this case, at the Diablos, and he charges at you, then the flash bomb will probably just go right through his body and detonate, and it will completely miss. So you want to throw it away from the monster. That way, it has a much higher chance of making the monster flinch and get stunned for a little bit. So yeah, that's all sorts of fun. As for the armor set for this guy, we're going to be looking at the Diablo S armor set, with your initial defense at 320, your max defense at 550. So going back to the U armor set, that's wow, that's pretty impressive for the U armor set for a much lower level, a large monster to be on par with a Diablos. And as for your fire resistance, is going to be 15, your water resistance is going to be -5, your ice resistance is going to be -10, your thunder resistance is going to be 5, and your dragon resistance is going to be 0. Your skills include Reckless Abandon +2, low wind resistance, and health -10. So that's a skill that you don't want, and with 8 slots, you can gem that out and get something else to substitute that missing negative skill. And sometimes whenever I'm doing a hunt against a monster, that, especially if it's one I don't like fighting, I forget a few things. And as I was reading that off, I'm looking at the preview screen on my other monitor, and I realized that pitfall traps don't work on this guy, and that's just not good. So it's all sorts of annoying. And then this guy is just going to peace out. He's just kind of walking away. Just, there he goes. Goodbye. See why this guy's annoying to fight? Because he kind of just does what he wants. He doesn't really care. And oh man, and like the monoblos, you got to be careful with this guy's roar, because I believe it requires high grade earplugs to block, and if you want to call it a hitbox for the roar itself, lasts a bit longer than you would expect. So if you tried to panic dive while you were in range of one of his roars, you still get hit at the end of it, and then you're going to be stunned for the exact same amount of time. So that's a whole lot of not good. And there's something that you might not see every day. If you throw a flash bomb into a wall, it just won't go off. Which, I would say I'm surprised, but there was also that vest point a moment ago that just, went to the ground. So I guess walls in this game are just like in Donkey Kong 64. They're there as a suggestion. They don't really exist per se. But yeah, that's basically Diablos in a nutshell. It's just like the monoblos. So if you're used to fighting monoblos, then you should be well used to fighting the Diablos. As a matter of fact, I think the only difference between those two monsters is that the Diablos will get into rage more often, the closer it is to death. So it's and man, it just does not like to give up so easily. And I have that one Sonic Bomb left, but I can't use it since this monster is in rage mode. But I think he's about ready to go down. Man, I believe there are some Black Diablos quests I need to take care of as well. So, that's always going to be fun, to take on the first one, which is the annoying one. And then you get to take on the black version, which is even more annoying. Mainly because there's more health and attacks are, it hurts quite a bit more. But I'm pretty sure this Diablos is going to be going down here momentarily. I mean, I hope. I mean, my sharpness is sort of wearing down, but that is nowhere near as bad as the time when I forgot whetstones and I had to do, I think it was it 2 Diablos? That was not a fun quest. So yeah, that's basically this quest. It's your greatest threat is at Diablos, so make sure that the items you get are primarily for this guy. Yeah, so that's going to do it for me and this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in any of my other content, be sure to hit on one of those annotations. They'll be featured at the end of this video. And if you'd like to support the channel, subscribing is always helpful. But until next time, take care, people.